Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Welcome to another midnight episode of another pod. Do not relent. I am Purple. I am Slidewhistle.
Hello. It's Immunization.
And it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire, and hoarding. Well, I am hoarding.
And Hoardington.
I'm hoarding plenty of various funny monies. Never say that we don't notice them. We do. I just think I'm broken, so I don't care anymore. But anyways, it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire, and Hoard Punching Bag.
And okay, yes, don't call us ungrateful. Very obviously on this podcast, it's been known that we appreciate and crave at least 25 new currencies every patch. So thank you, Blizzard, for blessing us. And maybe I need to appreciate them a little bit more, but I also don't know the name of any of them currently.
Is it weird that I don't really consider us having a lot of currencies right now? Because I don't.
Well,
it's that thing that Aaron was saying too on Discord, right?
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's a lot of it is it's in the currency tab, so you don't see it. Unlike certain ones, you have to physically hold on to. So it's annoying to open your bags and see you have 200 magic rocks. But also, I was thinking about it. I'm okay with this kind of currency, with each area having its own tender, because it leads to I just am collecting them all, and then I can turn them in for furniture or mounts, and I don't have to worry about it leaking over into other areas. Magic shiny rocks in TWW, you'd be like, I have 5,000 shiny rocks. I can buy this toy. And you're like, oh, no, I should save it. I need 7,000 shiny rocks to buy a mount in Azkahet. At least now, when I earn Sarathil's magic court coins, his court's the only place I'm spending them, so I don't need to worry.
Yeah, I'm kind of running into that with let's see if I can do this. Void Light Marl? Is that what the full Christian name is?
Yes, Void Light Marl.
VLM.
Sounds like a sexy grandmother. Now, coming onto the stage, Void Light Marl. Hey, everybody. Flash my titties a little bit.
It's my drag name, actually.
Because, I have been buying things with it, but then I'm like, oh my god, all these vendors, all the rep vendors, I think, take Void Light Marl. Also, I'm sorry, what is Marl? Because I know they're out there using, an encyclopedia to figure out new currency names. Okay, Immune's on the Google machine to see what a Marl is.
The Michigan Animal Rescue League, a different breed of shelter. It's funny that I get that because of where I live, and probably Immune will get the actual definition now.
Okay, I am on Merriam-Webster's website. So according to MW, Marl is a noun, and it is a loose or crumbling earthy deposit as of sand, silt, or clay that contains a substantial amount of calcium carbonate.
Oh, okay, so we're getting Void Light crumbling calcium carbonate clay, silt, or sand. Cool.
So that kind of makes me feel like this one's less special. We've received Garbonite crystals. So I'm like, oh, these jingly crystals. This looks like we're just picking up doo-doo rocks in the Void Storm and be like, we don't have these at home. I guess I can trade for things.
Okay, not to derail too much, but on the MW website, over to the side, there's top lookups where it's I guess these are the things that are the most searched right now. And number 2 is Chargo Gago Gaman Chalgo Gago Chaga Lake.
I'm looking at the amount of G. I've never seen so many G's in a word before. That's what it's a lake on the border with Connecticut and Massachusetts. If you're wondering how to find Chargo Lake, there's probably a lot of Void Light Marl at the bottom of that lake.
They throw it all there. They're like, oh, this damn lake's got to be good for something. I'm tired of pronouncing it. Can you imagine hopping on your Siri to be like, oh, I'm going to the lake with my family. Where would you like to go? Chargle Margle Fargle Blargle Bargle Lake? Did you mean Chargle Gargle Flargle Gargle Margle Lake? No!
Please spell that. Fuck.
Can I have an origin? Yes, it's Connecticut or perhaps South Central Massachusetts.
I don't think this. I will say the finery currency. I don't know. It's not really. It's all too Silver Moony. I was like, oh, I can't. I wouldn't look at any of this stuff.
I'm not gonna lie. I slay in it. And it makes me so mad because I don't want to wear Blood Elf clothing, but like it has just the right amount of absolute territory, or like a diamond in the shirt where you can just see like a hint of tit. It's like it's bad for me to say, but Growlina's absolutely serving in these outfits. It probably also helps that she's a fire mage, so like witchy red twisty clothing is like up her alley anyways. So
Yeah, and like as much as we shit on the Blood Elves in the Horde in general, but like I don't know, I guess like the very vain race would have good outfits, right? Like
Yeah, I mean Kel'Thas. They're all wearing Kel'Thas fashion, so he's a fire mage, so it makes sense. We got a new quest this week. I was a little surprised. I don't know why I was surprised, and it wasn't like it was that much, but I kind of thought we wouldn't be getting anything but waiting. But this was what I think 1 out of 4 storylines that was tied to an achievement.
yeah, I mean at least when I completed it and then I like clicked on the progress thing, it looked like there were like 4 like checkpoints along it. So or are we gonna get 1 a week for 4 weeks? Is that what that's implying?
Maybe we'll get more when the raid comes out. Like they're just gonna give us 3. Like here you go. Here's the rest of them.
yeah, because this one felt very brief. I think I said as much at the time, but I was like, it felt like we used to get like 16 quests and that was it. And then, yeah, this was definitely just maybe 4. So the 4-week theory is, that seems very prevalent in my mind. It'd be weird for them to just like, oh, here's a taste, here's a little nibble. And then next week, it's just like, okay, and here's everything else. But I'm interested in these quests because, well, we start out and wars come to the Void Storm. We're in the damn thick of it. And things are not going good. You go on your little Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium device and you watch a woman just get snatched in broad daylight. Some void creature comes out of a portal, plays the knockout game with her, and drags her away. And then the guy you're talking to is like, yeah, shit sucks.
I thought it was really funny, and then like, I mean, like, okay, I shouldn't have found it funny, but like, it kind of was. And like, I'm like, damn, these people are getting wrecked. Like, you just take the time to like, casually fly around and observe, like on Umbric's like magic glider, and then it's like, oh, they're fucking being eaten. Oh, they're fucking being carried away into void portals. Oh, let's go on to the next one.
My favorite one was when he was like, oh, look at, they're kidnapping an officer now. And then like a big beast dog puts somebody in his mouth and walks away. And I'm like, how do you know they're being kidnapped and not just being eaten? Like what? Well,
and then we find out that is very much the case. Illyria's like, oh, yep, that one got 8. Yeah, that one got 8 too.
Ooh, it's this like one only got partially 8. I guess she was like, she wasn't too tasty, so... Yeah, and then you like go through the process of like, tracing down these like void things, and well, I guess like, okay, you help them like shut down these giant like laser cannons, and then after that, Erator's like, yeah, go find my mom and like help her out, but then he specifically is like, oh, also don't tell her daddy hit me.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, are we really gonna do this? And then we did it. We got to witness the conversation of, you hit our son. And I was like, I was like, I should not be here for this. I was just herbing, and so when I'm Irving, it automatically is putting on my fucking professional equipment. So I'm standing there in a fucking straw hat.
You're in your overalls with your little watering can. Oh, sorry guys, I wasn't prepared for this emotional moment.
I shadow melded just so they wouldn't think I was being a freak in between them.
Okay, you know what's funny? Like, okay, so you know the bug that I have where it's like whenever I log in, I just have my cooking hat on? So, like, that was me. I was like, I like swoop down, and then I just like, they're just like yelling at each other. And then just me in the background, like, ooh, with my cooking hat.
Anybody want some biscuits?
But then also, as I was flying down, like, you know how, like, when you first fly down, they were, like, actually, like, had a little bit of dialogue with each other before you even, like, click on the, like, quest to listen. And as I'm swooping down, you know how, like, when you're in war mode, like, big voidy guy, that tells you when, like, drops are happening. What's his name? Basidius or something like that?
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
So, like, I'm, like, flying down, and, like, his voice line overwrites the other people that are talking. So I'm, like, flying down in my cooking hat. And then Illyria's like, how dare you? And then Basidius is just like, champion, now's the time to take a look for some loot. Loot drop, baby.
He was trying to cover for you. It's very clearly like, you did what to our son? Baby, please. And Decimus is like, now is the perfect time for you to go somewhere else. I'm giving you an out, champion.
It's exactly what it felt like. I was like, this whole quest line for various reasons had me laughing. I'm like, these are very serious matters, but I just could not help it.
So that conversation in it, she's like, I'm so mad. But she specifically says this line that really like got me. She says, Eritor needs his father and I need my love. And this made me think, has the game even talked about the fact that these guys are like not together anymore? I guess, did we jump the gun thinking she just broke up with him? Because based on what people say, based on what he says, based on what she says, it's almost like nothing really changed. The Christie Golden book is either not that important or is being actively ignored by Midnight Story right now.
Well, we know that they're not married, and apparently everyone knows they're not married because Nadia Brighton, one of the ladies who survived being kidnapped, she goes, You're not with the Vanguard.
I also want to talk about Nadia after you're done with this though.
She was like, she starts talking like a million miles a second as you rescue her. She goes, was that the High Exarch's wife? I mean, girlfriend. I thought she'd be taller. Is it true she has a dark arrow for a heart? And so I'm like, wait a minute. If Nadia knows they're not married, that means everyone knows they're not married. So, like, maybe that's kind of slightly ripping off of it, only because, like, I mean, they could be boyfriend, girlfriend still, right? Like, on again, off again.
But, like, the thing is, like, if they were, like, separated, they wouldn't just go back from being, like, married to being boyfriend, girlfriend. So that's why I feel like it's more so, like, what Aaron was saying, that, like, people aren't, like, either the masses didn't know that they got married, or, like, I don't, when did the marriage supposedly take place? I thought it was supposed to be before all of this.
Wait, first of all, what do you mean separated? They're never married. They can't be separated. They're never married. And also, they're never together to begin with.
It sounds like they returned to status quo, which the end of, I feel terrible, book, I don't remember its name. Sorry, Christy. I did like it, but end of book, it seemed like she, like, kicked him to the curb. But that is not the case if she's still referring to him as my love. Maybe it's like me telling the drag queen at Spiral Dance Bar that I was still with my girlfriend because we were only exes for like 2 weeks. But it's like, Illyria,
I think they're just messy.
So you think that they're canonically just that messy it couple that everyone on all of Azeroth knows their tea?
Yeah, they're always fighting. One's always leaving, not home for long periods of time, on again, off again. I think it's obviously a very complicated relationship. Shadow Light.
Yeah, like if this fucking nerd bomber Nadia knows all of their like tea, then like I feel like everyone knows, right?
She's probably trying to hit Turalyon up, you know? She's like, come on, give me some of that.
She had that shitty body paint when you saw her because you were playing on like TBC graphics.
Yeah, I didn't realize when I was taking a screenshot of her that my laptop at work was on graphic setting 2. So I was like, why are Nadia's boobs popping out? And then I was like, wait a minute. Wait, my graphics are fucked. I gotta fix this.
It's also so funny what they prioritize with graphical settings. Because, yeah, her entire dress is like doo-doo butter, but her her gloves and shoulders are like pristine. The game's like, no, we gotta lower graphical settings, lower light settings. We need to get those shoulders popping.
Face card is still intact.
But then that's it, which feels really weird. Like, especially if you didn't stay and listen, if you did the rude dude, like, I don't care, move on. Turalyon just looks at you and it's like, I guess part 2 of the invasion's next week, huh? And I was like, I mean, I guess.
That was a crazy cliffhanger to leave on, because it was like they're talking, and then like almost like right next to Turalyon, this little box says, story continues in 5 days. And I was like, what is this soap opera ass shit going on over here?
Literally soap opera. They're just like yelling about like their son being abused, and then it's like the Vanguard rolls on in 5 days.
So I don't know if the Vanguard rolls on. You guys are kind of tripping at the starting line here, my guy. Every single person had their big God. The weapon that they kept using was like this big light staff made out of like light energy, but it reminded me of the foam or like plush axe, like this is a deep pull. But remember when China got added back into the fold, you could get like a big foam light bringer, like that orc axe, but it was made out of light instead.
Mm-hmm.
All their weapons look like that, so they look like they had big balloon animal weapons hitting the void guys as they like tore them in half.
Maybe they were set up to fail. This is all Zeltat's plan. She's on the inside. I'm trying to think. I mean, that was it. That was pretty much the story.
Yeah, that was it. And then they said, go home.
I thought it was funny when like Nadia was like being dragged into a portal. She was like, "Not again." I'm like, "Well, how many times has this happened to you?"
She's a survivor. She survives. It was kind of giving me Urel, but talkative. We saved her from that cave.
And not in rags.
And she was not emotionally compromised by having to kill the dog, because she didn't. In fact, I was killing them so fast that they just kept like spawning in. She kept being like, oh my God, turn around, it's another one. And I'd kill it. And then she'd be like, and that's the one that got me. And I was like, Nadia, what's going on with these things, man? Like, just bring them in all at once. I'm getting tired of this.
Like, for me, I mean, I was doing this as a holy priest, so like I guess my damage isn't like that insane. And like they're kind of fucking me up at some points. And then like she kept being like, I got you, champion, but she would spam it like so many times in a row. Probably like it's probably tied to like when I drop below a certain health percentage or something. I'm like, Nadia, you obviously don't got me. I have to kill these things and heal myself. So what are you here for? And then like we got to like the big one that took her. And then that thing went down in like 3 hits. I was like, why are all these little dudes more difficult for me to kill right now? I just don't get it. Nadia, what's going on in this cave, Nadia?
Nadia is this week's sexiest NPC of the week. Specifically, the graphic setting 2 with the painted on boobies. Ooh.
Lower your settings, but not your standards, because Nadia's a real winner.
Knock, knock. What's that? It's Nadia's chest knocking at that door with 2 graphics.
Oh, man. Like, I'll just say that, like, I think she's purposely playing the damsel in distress, you know?
I love to get lost in a cave with her, if you know what I mean.
She's not afraid to get raw dogged because a dog came up out of nowhere and took her up. I mean, he grabbed her.
Okay. I was
like a dog. Like a dog grabbed her and took her through a portal. Jesus, stop it. She's a white woman, but she's not like that.
Wait. Erase that I said that, and you just go into your explanation. We don't need that in the beginning. That was imagery in the people's heads that I put there. Ooh, Nadia. More like, Dia.
Yeah, that's going somewhere.
So, do you think you can even take off this graphical setting to garment? Or do you think you kind of have to play around with what's going on right there? As we've said many times, it looks like it's melded right to her skin.
I think if you just like throw some water on it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Take a shower with Nadia, get some of that robe on you.
No, I think it'd go right down the drain.
She's like one of those dinosaurs that gets big, but I'm getting big when she gets wet.
Ayo.
Alright, Nadia, you're this week's Sexiest NPC of the week. Welcome to the list.
I assume you're probably still waiting with all of them for 5 days, so, you know, we'll make our way over there and give you this little trophy.
I love a good Sexiest NPC that a person can't even look up. If you're not looking at the DNR Instagram post, you're not seeing the Nadia that we're talking about.
And that's why this week's Sexiest NPC of the week is Nadia Brighton, specifically on graphical setting 2.
Yep, graph setting 2. Check her out. Hey, you still have time for this housing contest, although I've realized maybe we should wrap it up soon.
Yes, that is what I was going to say, was that we've given you all a lot of wiggle room. We haven't given you any sort of deadline. But guess fucking what? It's coming. March 20th. It's over.
Yeah, so get them in this week, and then do we just want to say that, like, next week we announce a winner?
This is it. I'm tired of you guys. You've been leaning on my generosity for too long. Get it in by noon. We'll say noon PT for all of you losers on the West Coast. Noon PT on Thursday, March 19th. That's the last time, and then it's over.
Don't be shy. Some of you, you're like, oh, I don't want us to do it. Just fucking do it. It's easy. Just show us something you like in your house. Tell us about something you like in your house. I ain't even gotta see it. I ain't even gotta fucking see it. Just tell me. God damn. You want a free shit or not? You can get fucking $25 of hard steel, which could buy. You get 3 cherry blossom trees now instead of 1 with that pack.
Oh, but how many of those Alliance or Horde doormats can you get?
Quite a bit. Or, hey, maybe you want to wear the Home Sweet Home shirt to bed. You could have that, too. Not two, or that. Anyway, just submit your shit. Get it in. Last chance dance.
Speaking of the last chance dance, I am a little worried. We recently had a guild meeting, and we don't need to go into the specifics, obviously, but in it, a neighborhood-wide fight club has been established.
Oh my god.
And I guess if I win the contest, that's what I'm putting my Hearthsteel towards, is apparently I gotta make a fight pit where people are gonna come in and kick my ass.
Well, may I say, but top guild meeting, best guild meeting we've had in a long time, I feel like. Fantastic.
It's wild that being physically in the game makes it better, because instead of fucking like getting on Twitter or like looking at Facebook, like Slide and I were playing Tussle Tonks.
What are you putting in your goddamn Mechanome figurines? You were killing my dude, like with one dude kill like 8 of my guys.
I don't know. I mean, and I wish I could say like the higher up the list you goes, the better it is. But you put in like Wrench Man, like a gnome with no mechanization came out. And he's like, I own a wrench, and it killed my Prince Erasmus. And I was like, what the fuck? Maybe it's random, but in my heart of hearts, I like to think that there's stats, that there's power-ups you can give them.
But yeah, so in every neighborhood, there's a little like amphitheater seating area, and I remember we had this whole meeting because I wanted to use that space. I made sure, I'm like, we're fucking doing it. This goddamn it, everyone be here. And it was sick seeing it filled out. People just doing whatever, seeing who was sitting by who, seeing nerd-ass Hacky sitting in the front like a little dork.
I loved at one point, Hacky messaged me, and he said, this was at a more boring bit, which actually I read a study about this the other day. So I was like, I'm going to get on all fours and just walk around the whole thing. That was your
study you read?
Well, no, I read a study.
What kind of studies are you reading?
I read a study about why you do it during like phone calls. Like the this is a side thing, but like on Twitter, someone was like, when you're in a good voice chat with your friends, and it was just a clip of them in Minecraft, like parkouring on boxes. And then it was a study of like why you as a human move around or do stuff while you're on the phone, because like your body is desperately trying to associate an action with words.
Oh.
So when you hear words but you don't see action, you're like, well, let me do something.
Wait, like, actually, the number of times that, like, I've been on a juicy Discord call in WoW and then, like, been just, like, doing loops around Dalaran, like, it's a thing, yeah.
But I was doing that. I was on all fours, slowly walking around. I did about 4 loops, and then he messages me, and he goes, dude, bro, you need to stop. I'm high, and this is too much for me.
I was seeing how far I could jump off the stage onto people. Also, Blizzard, I know you're listening. What's up with the stool section? So there's a stage that we had people on. Then there's the benches that people were sitting on. But in between the benches and the stage was almost like a VIP little fenced-in area of little baby stools that I could not sit on. Could anyone sit on those stools? Because no one was in there.
Oh, you didn't get VIP? Is that why you can't sit there, Slide?
You were on rail. You weren't sitting there. I saw you the whole time.
Broke person alert.
But yeah, it was great. And then it's funny because historically our guild meetings have been super chaotic and super fucking long. Just unorganized, people who are high on painkillers, just going on and on and on. Gandalin was like, he fucking provided a list of topics and said, let's get in voice call before this and discuss who's doing what. And I was like, I don't want to do assigned reading. But then I was this is good.
Like, we had an agenda, and they divided up the sections, and it felt very official, the way that they were, like, passing the mic between each other for each of their little sections.
But when I did mine, I didn't realize how loud me hitting the spacebar as I was double jumping gliding was. And Amin was like, stop it. You're making a lot of noise in the microphone. I was like, oh, am I? I couldn't hear it.
I was just about to try to do it too, but then I realized I would literally pause my recording.
Oh yeah, don't press that. But anyway, the whole point of this was that Bear, we didn't know what Bear was going to say, by the way. Bear's section was not listed on the itinerary for the guild meeting. And Gandalin only told us that Bear had some ideas for the guild meeting. And fucking Gandalin hands Bear the microphone, and Bear fucking says, hey everybody, I had this idea. We do duels in our houses, because you can't duel outside anywhere else. Like, you can't do a front lawn duel, but you can duel inside. And his idea was that we all make a fighting room in our house that we fight in a March Madness bracket style duel to the victor. And he never answered my question on how we're deciding whose house we're fighting in. Are we doing a best 2 out of 3? Is it just one fight in the bracket? Like, how does that work?
He also equated it to, like, March Madness, so I think, like, he was going to make brackets or something, but I don't... So then what are we calling it? Moss Madness? That'd be funny.
We're calling it Uno Madness. I think Moss Madness is better, but...
The bracketed nature of it is so great, because that means that... for like a week, you get to terrorize this person. You get to be like, hey, Rosh, I bet you, like, I'm going to see you in the fight pit on Friday. Ooh, I hope you bring your best potions, brother. Cass is making a stink pit in her house. And I just appreciate the nature of it being in various people's homes that maybe aren't even associated with the fight. Like, it's like me and Fury of Chan are fighting in something someone made, and then everyone's throwing gold at us, and then at the end of the day, we all just leave that person's house, and it's like, see you next week.
Because that's the best part of it, is, like, spectators will mean that the house is going to have people lined up against the wall just watching the fight on, like, couches and shit.
No, I feel like if you make a fight pit, you need to have bleachers or something, you know?
I think I'm going to pause my idea for my Valdraken dragon room, and I'm just going to make that humongous space into a big, like, Brawlers Guild-esque fight pit. I'm gonna make seating upstairs. I'm gonna make maybe like some 2D, some like 3D, like, you know how there's that fucking, in every fucking arena there's that annoying hill that like you can get on and get off of. I'm gonna make one of those. I think I'm gonna try to make a cool one.
I think I'm gonna add my outdoor room and use that as like where I'm gonna put my arena.
What I'm not excited for is I think I'm just going to lose because I'm learning that Devourer is not very good in one-on-ones against max people. Like max, I'm like, oh, great.
Less about PvP, but I've just been hearing, and sort of from jokey jokes that were made during the guild meeting, Devourer, it's been 2 whole weeks here. You still holding on to that, or do you think eventually you might shift back to what Vengeance is, or Havoc, which the other DPS one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try it because I mean, I don't have a tier set, right? Like, I don't have anything, but like in PvP talents don't even use the Apex talents. They're no good for it in PvP. In PvE they do. There's like a haste issue where I need like a lot more haste and stuff. But like, yeah, its ramp up takes a long time. It feels like it definitely feels a little bit stinky, which is good because it means I think I will be able to be the person making guides for this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one's even gonna fuck around with it. B, it's gonna get buffed because it's the new thing. They're not gonna let the new thing be stinky. There's no fucking way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think about new things when they were released. Were they ever stinky? I think Evoker, one of the Evoker ones was, right?
The Og was dead from day 1. Like Nuss tried it and he was just like, nope, terrible, bad, stinky.
I tried it and I was like, it doesn't feel good not getting to see. I couldn't tell my damage contribution wise, which is not fun. Like, I didn't even know how much I was giving people. But then it became like mandatory for Mythic Plus for like a season. Now it's not so much. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with it, see how it goes. But I just did a Battlegrounds. Oh my god, I felt like I was doing nothing. And then I googled it, and I'm seeing all these threads of people being like, Devourer is probably the worst PvP spec right now. And I'm like, I can see it.
Is it because of like the ramp that you need?
It's because of the ramp. It's because of how many times I need to cast an ability that's super easy to kick. And because I'm technically not melee, I'm range, so I'm like very squishy. I'm squishier than a mage, and like mages have like shields. They have things. They kind of change how defensives work. I don't really have that many good defensives.
I want to talk about that shield real quick. By the way, I don't know if I've gotten on my soapbox and talked about this. Blizzard, what the fuck happened? Blazing Barrier, Arcane Barrier, Frost Barrier used to be, let's say, 20% of your health in shield, and it lasts until someone beats it off of you. Now it's 70% of your health that lasts for 4 seconds.
What the dog doing?
So it's literally just you cast it. If someone has fatal damage on you, then they don't for 4 seconds. And then what happens? It goes away, even if they don't hit you, and then you die.
So you need to like plan to use it preemptively before damage? Is that like what you do, I guess?
Yes. So it's borderline useless to me. And maybe I'm not doing it right, but most of the times when I'm fighting someone or I'm fighting a hard prey that really stuck me in the back end, I will cauterize. And then as I'm nearing the end of cauterize, that is the only moment it is useful. If you cast it preemptively, it does nothing anymore. And that used to be like before going in, I would cast it and then do like a big baloney ball. But it's like, we're already a squishy class. We have nothing we can do. And you took away the one shield tool we have, but for why?
That is weird. That's a pretty humongous barrier change. It sounds like a fucking annoying thing to have to get used to. Because, like, yeah, like, are you supposed to, like, go invisible and then, like, pop out the, you know what I mean? Like, guess you gotta change your defensive strat? That sucks.
They did make invisibility very short cooldown. I think it's like 40 seconds now. But that, you don't do that in a fight. Like, I guess if you, in PvP, they'll still be around, but PvE, they leave. You can't do that defensively because they'll just be like, okay, I guess I'm done now. Goodbye.
I guess you're gonna have to just kill people faster. Yeah. Good luck. At least you can kill people. I feel. Oh, also, this is I was at the Sunwell, just fighting people just for fun. And there was this paladin there who fucking, when I almost killed him, he phased out. I think he queued for a fucking either a follower dungeon or for training grounds. He phased out with 10% health. I'm like, what the fuck? And I waited there, and then he phased back in with full health and his cooldowns. And I'm like, you shouldn't allow people to queue for something. Or maybe he was like, holding the queue open so he could just enter whenever he wanted to. I'm like, that's some real pussy ass shit.
It really is. And then you said it reset his cooldowns, and then he could just like do his opener again, and that's like bullshit.
Yeah, it was a stun, and then he's divine shield on, and then I'm like, okay, well, this is ridiculous. And then the hammers.
Imagine loading into a dungeon and you're like, okay, guys, let's do it. Den of Nalarak. And then your Retribution Paladin's like, sorry, guys, I only came in here to dodge a 2-bit pokey at the Sunwell. I actually have to go and beat him up now. See you later.
Coward.
Have we talked on this podcast about how fucking loud the Sunwell is, or no?
They actually nerfed it. There was a hotfix that changed it.
I was not around it enough. I'm sad I didn't get to experience its ear-shattering glory.
But
it
was
like it would just
comically loud.
It would make light noises like, oh!
Like, I don't even know what sound it was. It was like the sound of like the light hitting the well. It was like kind of like white noise, but like very loud, like louder than like the dialogue that was there.
Yeah, it was super, super loud. Actually, Papa Cheese was like, "Why? What's up with the Sunwell?" And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "It's so loud." And I was like, "No, it's not." And then I went there and I was like, "Oh my god, it is!" It was just like way louder than anything else, and you could hear it from far away.
Yeah, so like that bridge that you guys are fighting on, like halfway down the bridge, like halfway between Silver Moon and the Sunwell, you could start to hear it. And then and it was like so loud that like when I was doing like the intro quest line when I was on Discord with like y'all, I couldn't hear you guys on Discord because it was so loud.
Also, this is a side thing. I'm sorry. Lots of people are gonna get mad because we're newbies and we don't care as much. But in the new quest line, Turalyon was talking about that he used the light. Oh, it's when he hit his kid, and he was like, "I'm not gonna forsake the light. That I blame myself, not the light." And someone, was it Leandrin? It was some blood elf, was like, "The light you use is sterile and mean. It's not like the light I grew up with." And I was like, fucker. Once again, they're bulldozing over their own lore. You didn't grow up with the light. Like, the Sunwell was an arcane well 40 years ago, guy.
You tried to steal it.
And also, maybe your Sunwell is nicer because it's a guy you killed. Like, I'm not going to forget that part. Just because Velen says it's okay doesn't mean it's okay.
Y'all still kill the Naru for this. It's like, yeah, I also thought that voice line was weird because like she was like yelling at, she just had random beef with like the Kultiran woman who was leading like that squadron of like the light army, right?
Oh yeah, it was before you actually went into Void Spire. They're like, we're doing our best. And it was on the bridge. I think it was Liadrin was yelling at this lady, this like newly promoted second in charge.
Maybe in a way she means it's not like the arcane energy I grew up with. That crack was so good.
Yeah, she's really just saying like, I remember when Coca-Cola had literal cocaine in it.
Aha!
This 95-year-old Fel depository still serves Fel like it used to.
What have you guys been up to in WoW this week?
Well, I've been doing a fair amount of, never mind.
Oh. I got my Paladin to 90. There's way more side quests than before, because it's taking me forever to get through these. I'm maybe halfway through. I'm like, it's insane, because there's so much to fucking read. There's so much going on. Also, when I was in Herondir, I found a tablet that was like talking about how they got called to the middle of the earth, whatever, hearing her call. And then it was like, never forget the things we fought from beneath. The things that made us come here and gave us a fight. And I'm like, okay, so like, obviously they're fighting old god stuff, is because, the Black Blood, trying to stop that. But I was like, what the fuck is there something deeper in the fucking core that we don't know about? Like, are the old gods like down there? Do they already get to Azzy Baby?
Are they Azzy Baby all along?
Maybe.
Yeah, because like then also we talked about this on Discord a bit, which you can get to by going to donotrelenT.com, where all of our links are. I think part of the reason why, an additional reason why your leveling of your paladin took a little bit longer is because you went on a severe rabbit hole into the lore of why there were Genissars down there too.
I still don't understand why there are Genissars in the core of Azeroth. Genissars are native to Draenor Outland. A man on Blue Sky told me that, which I saw this before, that Genissar and other things went through the portal of the Maghar starting thingy, and I did the Maghar quest specifically to figure that I didn't see there was not one plant person involved anywhere in the Maghar
I don't
thing.
remember that either.
There was nobody. It was just Maghar and Ogron and Gronlings that have come through the portal. I didn't see nothing. And there's Genissar, which are the big plant centaur people. Genissar are basically embodiments of old elemental wilds that were trying to take over Azeroth. And we haven't seen one on Azeroth except for the one that from Draenor that took the portal and came over, tried to invade, that we killed. Or in War Within, when we hang out with Orwena, there's Genissar, I guess, attacking, which I'm assuming came to the same area Orwena came from to get there. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on down here? Something sus. Something sussy baka.
Because, like, have you guys seen the theories that Arwena is, like, actually evil and she's, like, trying to bring in, like, okay, because, like, everything, whenever there's any kind of new lore at all, people always try to bring things back to the Il'gynoth Whispers, right? Like, I feel like this is every expansion, most patches even, whenever something new happens. Okay, so we're talking about the Il'gynoth Whispers from the Emerald Nightmare, when in there, during the raid fight, he just pops off a few times with, like, some quotes.
He says, "The vassal of life disguises treachery. Beware the eyes of green," is his quote. I mean, she's vassal of life. I mean, they're root tenders. She has green eyes.
Beware the eyes of green, could be blood elves.
Ooh, could be, actually. But also, Il'gynoth was an old god thing hanging out with Xavius. Xavius, ripped of Aln Dust, ripped of Aln mentioned. So, like, he has actually, this is probably the most connected he's possibly been to another character that could possibly be the reference of what he speaks of. Maybe not, but I'm like, I could really see Orwena, she's leading her people above ground. What if she just wants to retake? She's like, listen, we used to rule Azeroth. We went inside. What did we get? People are cutting down trees. Defending the roots gave us nothing. Let's just spread the light bloom. Let's spread the green and the grass to Azeroth and make it nice again. Because who is the enemy? Who is the enemy of the grass elements originally? The Titans. Because what's his tits? Agrimar? I think it was Agrimar.
What is his tits?
I think it was Agrimar who specifically waged war against the plant people, the plant monstrosities that were taking over Outland.
So are you suggesting that Orwena is perhaps a villain in the sense that, like, Poison Ivy is, where she's, like, an eco-terrorist to try to reset Azeroth back to its, like, original state?
I think that'd be sick as fuck. And, like, honestly, it'd be a really, really good twist that nobody would see coming. And, like, it doesn't have to make all the Herondar evil. It can be Herondar that are like, no, we don't want to do that. Like kind of like a Urel zealotry blinded by motives kind of thing.
And if anything, it already makes sense with what they've proposed here, because, like, Orwena's on the outs with a lot of the people there. Like, their council is like, no, we don't fuck with Orwena.
I'll be fully transparent, everyone. I said that I was up to a bunch of stuff in WoW in order to try and segue into a time warp, but I couldn't remember the name of prey targets, so I was like, let me no-sell and then come back later with their names. But not even Wowhead or Icy Veins care. I looked up.
I couldn't tell you either. I couldn't name one.
Yeah, I looked up the things that the busts you get for killing the hard ones, not named after specific people. The achievements you get for beating those people, not named after those people. And it's not like, I mean, I don't know any of their names, and I can only give you vague descriptions, so just wanted everyone to know that wasn't me shitting the bed. That was me unsuccessfully trying to do a silly game.
That would have been such a odd time warp. It's like, easy level Death Knight Tauren.
Yeah, just a real no one wins, a real fart to end the show. But instead, we have some extra time here.
Is this another game segue or just a general statement?
Nope, this is just, I got nothing, brother. I put all the cards on the table. I ain't got nothing left.
Okay. Have you done any more abundances?
So, yeah. And, I mean, I don't hate it. It just seemed, I still don't get it. Like, I go in there with people, I get the bonuses sometimes. It just feels like it's just it still feels like it's just something to do. I guess of all the new systems they put in this one, which I'm glad they put a bunch of stuff, this is just present.
When you're doing them in war mode, are people not fighting still, or are they just like vibing?
No, they're not fighting. Most people are just they want to kill the rats. They know that it would be not useful to attack each other when you have so few time to get rats.
Okay, so then the Void Storm event, have you done that one?
Of course, yes, and that one is mean.
Yeah,
All it takes is paladins have some ability where they throw a hammer at someone extra whenever they attack, and all it takes is one of those to go down.
Oh, and they just fly stray all the time, so...
Mm-hmm. And it just... One of those happens, and then all of a sudden... You're done. The void is like, ooh, we can easily sneak our way in there because it's just an ego trip at that point.
I've only seen Horde get blown out in those events so far. Whenever I run them, it's just like there's like 80 to 90 alliance running around, and there will be like 3 to 4 Horde on the outskirts trying to get credit for it, and I'm there at my Netomatic. I'm there. my prio target is just attacking Horde when I know I have the numbers advantage.
The PvP situation here makes you think, so they are bringing in everyone from all the realms, right? Because it's like 2 weeks out and Alliance is still stomping the Horde at most every turn that I see.
Yeah.
Like, I know that we're Proudmoore and we're Alliance heavy, but like, it's supposed to be balanced, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, War Mode is not just our server, so yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I'm curious how it's gonna look once the Mythic Plus season starts. Are we gonna be left in the lurch alone against all the Horde?
Wait, is against overwhelming odds still a thing? So, like, does Horde have that right now, then?
No, they got rid of that in BFA. Because people complain too much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're just getting lucky or if this truly the Horde is going to be decimated at the beginning and then it's going to peter off as the Alliance takes a break and disappears.
Because I already have all of the, like, Conquest of Azeroth achievements for Midnight. I already have all 4 zones. I've got, 1,500 honor points. Just because we keep beating them up. They don't get a single crate.
Yeah, and then like the next thing you can get you can get a title. I think it's Void Slayer, which isn't that great of a title if I'm being honest. Void Slayer doesn't really express PvP dominance to me. But if you keep doing all the PvP world quests whenever they're up, one of them is just like, dude, you just do every PvP world quest 5 times. So do those every time they're up, and you'll work your way towards a title a lot easier.
I had a moment the other day, everyone kind of looked at each other, and they were like, wait a minute, there's no Horde here. And I was like, oh my god, we gained the class consciousness that we realized we don't need to fight each other.
Oh my god, everyone stopped fighting? Wow, that sounds great.
I stood shoulder to shoulder with like 2 night elves and a dwarf, and we just killed 10 random creatures. We weren't even in a group. We just decided it's not worth fighting each other when we could just kill like ethereals in here.
Have I talked about the camera yet? Did I talk about it last week?
The PvP
No.
camera?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Did he?
Okay, so have you encountered the spectral battle chest that comes up?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I did get that, but I was just like, this is too much. This is too rich for my bones. Let me just try and get some ethereals in here.
So, for those who don't know, when the spectral battle chest spawns in war mode in the Void Storm, it's also a free-for-all crate, much like the PvP quests are free-for-all. So when that spawns, if somebody loots it, it goes away pretty quickly, maybe like 30 seconds afterwards. So that means that it's just Alliance slapping each other in the fucking face so nobody gets it. And it's honestly really annoying. That's also one of the Void Slayer achievements title requirements is, I think, loot 10 of those. I have 3. But when that spawns, everybody gets like a random Mario Party power. And the one that I got was a exploding selfie camera. And how it works is when you pull out the selfie camera and you take a picture, everything that's behind you in a 180 cone in a pretty far goddamn distance gets hit by a massive explosive fire damage. Huge. It's comical. So I got this once at the spectral chest. I turned around and I just started spamming the button. And I had it face the chest. The amount of honor I gained because it was obliterating people. It was killing tanks in 3 camera clicks.
Bomb them.
I'm literally say cheese and dying goosebumps them. And I had 10% leech. And it must have leech interactions because people then started to hit me, and as they're hitting me, I'm healing to full. So I'm just like click, 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 click. I probably killed like no joke like 50 people like in like 10 clicks. It was amazing. It felt so fucking cool. And then I went to the chest and I clicked it and I looted it and I walked away.
That's actually hilarious.
So check out go to the battle chests. You might get the selfie camera and take pics before they nerf it. I mean, I don't know if they'll nerf it. I could have been CC'd or stunned, but it's real fun. Maybe we should do, oh my god, we're already almost fucking done. I felt like I have so much to say about Midnight, and we're already at 55 minutes. God fucking damn. Alright, let's do top 2. Medium boot, bottom boot. Whoa, what did I say, medium boot?
your TTBBBB.
Aaron, hit us with your TTBBBB.
Well, as funny as it would be, I do have a top toot this week. At the guild meeting, Lynn said he had a special extra little bit for us, which I don't know what it was, but it ended up just being let's gamble, which we famously do in the middle of every raid session for maybe a little too long. But we did it, and I said, you know what, Aaron? You never do these. Let's go in. So I gambled for, what is it, like 25, 50, 100K, nothing going. And then 250, the final one, I'm pretty sure, went up, and I said, you know what? I have 500K. Let's throw half of this away. I went up there. I wasn't even surprised because it was out of 250, and I rolled like 249,000. And I was like, oh, I'm going to win. And then I just so happened to win against DNR superstar Remy, who so graciously got to pay me like $238,000.
Mr. Spoons, you fleeced Mr. Spoons.
Mr. Spoons, I got him. And I trusted him. He did say he had to make a run by the bank. I took a picture on my phone and in game on my computer of the amount, and I said, that's such a shame if I have to run him down in the streets for this money. But then I went back, and he ran out of the bank, and he gave me my money, and he said thanks, and I said thanks. He did not thank me for taking his money. I said thanks.
Is this like the first time you've ever gambled?
Yeah. Well, and so
and it'll be the last.
Yeah, it'll be the last. I get to go out, no matter that. I get to stay in the middle of. Lynn's got a list of everyone who's won and lost during the season. I get to stay in the middle. I get to say I made $230K and that's it, brother.
See, but now you have seed money. You can do a $25K every once in a while now.
Oh yeah, I'm willing to go up to $100K each time we do it, just cause. And if I do lose and have to pay the money, which I will, Scout's honor, then yeah, I might duck and run for a little bit. But now I'm a little scared because I'm getting painfully close to 1 million yet again.
Ooh.
So I'm like, oh shit, I really gotta play the slots. I'm this close.
You know what's calling you? Those frogs in Nazmir that cost 330K each. Think about how many frogs you can buy.
2.
You know, if there are griffins for sale, that money would be out the window.
Speaking out the window, I'm taking my thing and I'm throwing it to Slidewhistle because he was going to talk anyways.
Well, I was just gonna say, Mr. Immune also won. He won the first gambling roll of that thing. He always loses every single time, and it's so fucking funny.
Like exactly. Like yeah. Actually, I just realized now we bookended the gambling at the guild meeting because I won the first one, you won the last one, which meant that I only won 25K. But like honestly, like every season I just lose and lose and lose. I'm like, why do I bother this? So like I go most of the season, I probably only gamble like 4 times, but every time I hop in, I lose. So it's crazy that like I also think I'm done. One and done. I took my 25K and got the fuck out of there.
Yeah. I've got 2 top toots. One a short one not. It's still not long.
2 top toots, 1 short one. One's not that long, but kind of.
Yeah, exactly. We need to figure out that acronym for that one. My first one is honestly just the guild meeting. Bear's surprise got me. I was like, oh my god, this is fucking great. Seeing that space used was amazing, and I think it's gonna inspire a lot of little events. Bear fucking talked about fucking like 15 other goddamn ideas he wanted to have. But my favorite one was DNR Superstar. Sarah said Hawk had a suggestion of just doing like group like gathering things. And I thought it was so funny how Bear was like, cool. So when are you available to do that? Like he was like, I'm locking you in. And she was like, well, I mean like I'm on most times. And he goes, awesome. Any specific time? he was like, I'm making sure I know exactly when you're available for this.
He's gonna slap the feedback on her. He's gonna say, okay, work. You said you wanted to do this. Get us the ore. Get us the herb.
I feel like he really just like fucking threw a lasso around her and pulled her in. Like, all right, you're fucking coming with me now. Like, we're doing this.
But it's funny, but also good because like I feel like Bear was brought in as an officer again, and like I feel like he and Honors were like, we need more like guild events outside of just like raiding. So like I feel like that was one of the most successful things about our guild meeting.
My only gripe was that now we've changed the guild birthday to be January 1st. I think we should still do the Phoenix Fusion birthday date. Like, that's when, like, the people who, like, are the core of the guild were formed. You know what I mean? Were formed. But I'm like, okay, I guess. Celebrating the day that we moved into Kata's guild? I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like,
I think of it less so of when we moved into the shell of her guild and more so of when we liberated ourselves from credibility.
Okay, if we call it Liberation Day.
Yeah, we're calling it Uno Mas Liberation Day.
And my other top toot, that's not really that long, but kind of top toot, was Paladin. Holy Paladin feels really good. And I'm scared. I'm a little scared. Because Lynn basically was trying to get me to, I think, be the full-time healer. Because we didn't have a Paladin, because Sin wasn't going to be in, but now Sin's in. And I was like, ooh, maybe. I was thinking about it, but I think it'd be impossible to pug my Demon Hunter because, like, there's going to be 1 million fucking Demon Hunters applying to pugs. Like, why are they going to take me over any other one? You know what I mean? I could pug with a healer really easy. But, like, just the playstyle is really fun. And I think I've finally learned what my healing preference is.
I feel like I could have told you this before, and I'm gonna describe it right now, and you can tell me if it's accurate.
Okay, describe it.
Melee. But also, okay, so like melee can still do damage, has a shield.
It has a shield. I am all about the shield, and there's only 3 classes with shields. Am I wrong? 3 specs? Is that right?
healing ones in particular, or like any?
Oh, I guess it's paladins, shamans, warriors. That's all the shields, right?
I could not answer at that moment because I was secretly on the phone with my wife. She called me before she left work, but I didn't tell them because I didn't want to say I wasn't listening.
Scanning through my head. Yeah. A shield mog is amazing. And it's actually funny because I was in Starting Zone, and Mr. Shield Man, Jason? Fuck, I always confuse. Yeah, he's the warrior. He was talking about the new trading post. Oh my god, we didn't know about that either. The new trading post is so fucking lit. And I was telling Papa Cheese it's so good, and he goes, I don't think it's very good at all. I think it sucks. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh, they're all Night Elf shit. It's all Night Elf stuff. So Aaron, how do you feel about the trading post? You a fan?
Actually, the trading post this month, I do appreciate, but mostly just because they have a lot of Kavanti, like, one pieces. There's a distinct amount of those, which I do like those too. It comes in purple and red, and I got them both. Yes, the weapons that you laud, no, I'm not a big fan of those, but I was like, my one pieces, those are all I need. I left everything in one piece. I was so frazzled because I was still on the phone with her and I hadn't heard anything that it heard. I just heard trading post and made some shit up.
But yeah, Jason from Starting Zone was saying how there's not a Night Elf shield, and how the shield is the centerpiece of a shield user's transmog. And I'm like, that is like, when I had my Wrestle Shaman, I was making everything around the shield, and now I'm making everything around his shield for my Holy Pally. And I'm like, oh my god! And I can do Prot and Holy. I have both. I have the shield for both of them. So I'm really feeling Paladin right now, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Immune, top, bottom, medium.
Well, I also have a top two.
Toot.
And like, you kind of stole it a little bit, but I'm just gonna say it again and then like say a few more things about it. It is the guild meeting. I'm glad that it happened. I'm glad that like it could be. I feel like my favorite part about it was that like it just makes the guild feel like more community, and I feel like it's important that we do that every once in a while. And I like the physical setting of it. I just like our neighborhood. Also, like, the amphitheater is, like, very close to Lot Zero where my house is. I could, like, see it from my, like, backyard. So, like, that was kind of cool. I can see the meeting
from my house.
I was going to say, okay, Sarah Palin.
Basically. So that was cool.
Amin's going to start fucking phoning it in. He's going to get to the absolute edge of yell range on his property and just be like, he'll just sit in the call and be like, yep, sounds great.
Yeah, so like that alone. Also, I just thought it would be funny if I also mentioned that as of 2 or 3 days ago, I actually started bringing all my new decor into my house and like trying to find places for it, which has been a fun little endeavor. But that also means that how late was Immunization's Christmas tree up? It made it into March, everyone. It's like March 9th. So, yeah. If maybe some of y'all feel seen.
I knew that you guys were perhaps doing that because we logged off, we stopped doing something, and I saw you guys were both in home interior, and then I played Overwatch for like 2 hours, and then when I got out, I looked at the thing, and you were both in home interior. I was like, oh yeah, those guys got a lot of items. There was a lot of thought as to where to put those.
Which is always fun and exciting, and I said this before as well, I just love how like you get decor as you do quest chains. It's such a great thing.
I might demolish all my rooms. I might do it. I might just. There's so much new shit now that I'm like, I have new pieces. I have new things to make rooms around. Like, I don't know.
I feel you.
Feel this. Grabs nuts.
I have to go into the Patreon thing after this. Why would you give me that as a lead-in?
Grab him.
Well, I'm just absolutely nuts for the support that we get out from our patrons.
I did grab his nuts, by the way.
And I grabbed his too, so.
And they're allowed to. I didn't grab my own nuts. I don't feel like washing my hands. I'm a nasty boy. We're doing COVID part 2.
When are you going to say Ahoy Vince's name? That's so rude of you to cut him off like that.
Speaking of grabbing nuts and cutting off, Ahoy Vince, Azarin, Digital Dave asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Miskit the Orchid Orc, Crucifix, Alternator, Chris M, Saracen Hawk, Justin, give me back my PhD, Arcane, Remy.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Kick Puncher, Sugar Bear,
Time is money, friend.
Dr. Foster, Grumpy Old Shaman, Dex, Jerome, Ali, Adorno, Gershom,
If you want pretty house, why you play ugly faction?
Duff, the Horde, Pooper Cooper, Calcus. I put the fun in underground confluences of mystical roots that creates a hidden realm that is home to plant and fungal creatures of all types. That's a Haranir joke. I don't know if you've heard him do any slash sillies yet, but there was a preview. See me after class. Cilantro, Alex A, Vanderlyle. Have a nice day! And Will, aka Tyre, Trade Chat's Fallen Father.
You can join those patrons at patreon.com/do-not-relent. We're going to be recording an episode after this, and if it's anything like the end of this episode, it's going to be a little buck wild. Don't forget contest stuff, send that in. Oh, Blue Sky. We've been a little more, we've been trying to get the Blue Sky active. Also, hey, if you haven't left us a review somewhere, we could use a review. We could freshen up our stuff a little bit. You even gotta say no words. Just give us some stars. Give us any stars. Make it 4 at least. Come on.
Well, you need to do it in a way that we know it. If you randomly throw a star in, we appreciate it, but we need to know that it was given so we can thank you.
That's true. If you want to be thanked and force us to do a shot, which has been a while since you've had to do a forced shot, you can be the change you want to see in this world. You can make the episodes worse or more fun.
I think they're more fun for us, at least.
Anyway, where about you guys? Where you at? How'd they find you?
You can find me, Alex, or Immunization, on Twitter at NewEraAlex, or on Blue Sky at Immunization.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at the Big and Cheesy on Twitters.com, or watch me play Vigigrams at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. But not this Saturday, because I'm dog sitting. I'm hanging out with my man Zeke. We're gonna sit on the floor and do nothing. That's how I earned my Nintendo Switch 1.
Wow, a real dog man. People with the dog. Well, I'm going to go eat a little bit of kimchi before we record After Dark, so I can make it nice and stinky in here. So we have to smell it.
What are you, Tire Era 2017?
I love kimchi. Oh my god. Anyway, and remember,
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.